Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the WT Coaches Show. I'm your host, Zach Barnes. Kicking things off for us this week is head softball coach Kevin Blaskowski. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Coach, since we saw you last, a long weekend here at Schaefer Park, starting off with a win over Metro State to kick off the South Central Region Tournament.
Yeah, it's a great event. We had three really good teams coming into play, and Metro State made it. They qualified as the RMAC tournament champions. So, we thought with them coming in, it was going to be a great matchup. And I was really proud of the way we came out and created a ton of offense. Put up 14 runs, and I thought that we pitched the ball pretty well. Probably not as well as we could have, but Metro was very scrappy, so we were fortunate to get the win.
And then on Saturday, unfortunately, had to play twice. You lost the first game against Colorado Mesa 1-2 in a very tight ball game, then ended the night against Texas A&M Commerce with a 10-0 win.
Yeah, the Mesa game was a typical winner's bracket final type game. The two undefeated teams hooked up, and we didn't create a lot of offense, even though we left a lot of runners on base. We just never got a big hit to drive those runs in, and I thought their pitcher did a great job. A freshman just went out and threw the ball really well against us. They picked up a couple of unearned runs, and we just were never able to recover from that and push a run across when we needed it. So dropped us in the losers bracket, and then we had to wait for A&M Commerce and Metro to play, and Commerce played really well in their game against Metro, and I was really nervous going into that last game because they had the momentum on their side, and we're coming off a loss. And I tell you what, our kids and our crowd were outstanding in that game, and I thought our players responded really well. We scored early, put up some big runs in that game early, and just kind of didn't. I don't want to say we cruised, but we played really well, and the crowd kept us really motivated all night, and we were able to get a big win and get back to the championship Saturday.
And then with that, Friday, and then again this Saturday, you got to play Colorado Mesa twice, both of those being bottom 7 walk-off wins.
Probably the way we drew it up on the board before the day started. Let's just go out and not worry about the first 6 innings and just play our butts off in the 7th inning of each one. Not really. But it's kind of the way it looked. Again, we took a little early lead in the first one, and then Mesa came back and took the lead back from us, and you're going into the 7th inning and you're down 3-1 with your season on the line, and you're at the top of your lineup and you've got 3 of your first 4 hitters are seniors. I can't say enough about what they did. Brittany leads off with the double, and then Andrea Sitter drives the ball back up the middle to score Brittany and ends up on second, and we just were able to really make a lot of things happen. And then, with the bases loaded, Allie Smith just has a great at bat. She got deep in the count, and she's been swinging the bat really well lately, and came up with a big hit in the gap, and the place went crazy, and we scored 2 runs and won that ball game. Take about a 30-40 minute break in between games and have to come back and do it again, and we did it almost absolutely the same way as the first one. We spotted them a lead. They're up 3-0, and they get a chance to. We cut the lead back down, and go into the bottom of the 7th down 3-2, and they get the first out of the inning, and Lacey hits that fly ball to right center field that just kept carrying and somehow bounced off the right fielder's glove, so we've got her standing at second, and then first pitch of the next at bat, Harden goes over the scoreboard, and it's pretty much history from there. We get a chance now to advance to the Super Regional.
And then, which is starts actually today for you guys, and you get to start with a 6 o'clock against a very familiar postseason foe in St. Mary's.
Yeah, it's becoming kind of a yearly tradition that somewhere in the postseason we match up with St. Mary's. And St. Mary's is a great team. Coach Fields does an outstanding job. Graduated a ton of kids off the team that went to the World Series last year, and she's got them back in the Super Regional, kind of the same route we went. They had to win twice Saturday to get back, and they're very scrappy, very talented. I think tonight's game is going to be huge. The winner of tonight's game controls tomorrow's situation, if it's going to be one game or two games. So, I think we need a great crowd. We need a lot of noise, a lot of energy. I think our girls are ready. Practices have gone well. It's just going to be a matter of two great teams on the field, and we'll see what happens.
I'd like to thank you for joining us and good luck this week.
Appreciate it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the WT Coaches Show. Next for us is head baseball coach Matt Vanderburg. Coach, how are you?
Doing well.
Coach, since we saw you last, you hosted Texas A&M Kingsville. Ended up going 1-2 against A&M Kingsville. They won the first two games, and then pulled. You guys got the third win on the weekend with the final game. Let's first kind of start the Friday night 8-14 game.
Yeah, we got down. I think 9 or 10 to nothing. Just didn't play very well early. Thought we were pretty anxious and stuff. Just wasn't a really good day of baseball on Friday. Austin didn't throw very well. I thought we were up in the zone a little bit, and with the wind blowing out the way it was this past weekend, you've got to really be able to pitch and not just try to throw it by people. And I think all of our pitchers did that in the first two games, and that with the wind in West Texas, and we really hadn't played too many games like that this year where the wind was howling out pretty well there. You've got to be a pitcher, not just a thrower, and that's something that we didn't do. And then offensively, I thought we were very bad, but you have to tip your cap to their lefty in Game 1. I mean, he's done an unbelievable job all year, and he's kind of set up for when the wind's blowing out. I mean, his ball moves all over the place. He's not a power guy. He's more of a pitcher and stuff, and we didn't adjust to it. We wasn't able to elevate the baseball. They were able to elevate it, and when the wind's blowing out like that, it's a recipe for disaster.
And then Saturday ended up splitting that one 6-9, and then a Big 12 win one at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, again, did not play well in Game 1. Got out to they got up on us early again, and then we had some bad at bats in there. Just wasn't able to compete and get back into the game. Brooksy's been great for us all year, and just again, I thought he was, with senior day stuff, I thought he was probably just a little bit too amped up. Just trying to be a thrower, and he's a guy that he's really good when his ball's sinking, his sliders down, doing being a dominant pitcher. And he was just up a little bit, and they were able to get to him one inning. Just I believe it was the second inning they hit 3 home runs off of him, and I don't know if he's given up 3 home runs all year. So he was just up a little bit that inning. They put up 5 on him in that inning, kind of hurt us. And kind of got down again, and then just took away some at-bats and stuff. But I love the way our guys competed, came back in Game 3, was able to really finally do a good job being able to elevate the baseball with the wind blowing out. And Luke Wycheck, what an outstanding performance. I mean, he just came out and dominated. His changeup was really good into the wind. I mean, it's a tough pitch when the wind's blowing into your face. And, so he matched up well with them that day, did an outstanding job because they're a really good offensive team. They're big, they're physical. It's an atypical Kingsville type team. Usually they're more like we are. A lot of speed guys, don't have a lot of power and stuff, but they're different than that this year. They've got a lot of guys that can hit it over the fence 1 through 9. They're a really good offensive team, and it was a tough matchup for us at home, which usually we're really good at home, but with the wind blowing out, it's kind of tough for us right there going against them. But I thought our guys did a good job being able to win that last game, give us a little bit of momentum going into the weekend here.
And then coming up for you guys this weekend, you head to San Angelo for the LSC Championship Tournament, and you get to see Texas A&M Kingsville again.
Yeah, we should know them. Everybody knows everybody. We're going to be playing everybody for the 8th time. There's going to be no secrets. We know what everybody's got. They know what we've got. So it's a good tournament. It's a double elimination tournament. Right now we're playing it, on Thursday against Kingsville. Expect a really good game. I expect it to be a hard-fought game. I'm happy it's in Angelo. It's on turf. They've got a great facility there now. It really is one of the nicest, in our conference. So it's going to be a great atmosphere. They put on a pretty good show down there. So we're excited to go down there and hopefully win a tournament.
And whenever you go down there, especially with it being double elimination, kind of what's the mentality whenever you kind of go into it?
Win every game. That's kind of our mentality. It's one game at a time. Obviously, you got to win the weekend. You can't lose 2 games. So now, if we're able to, continue on with this season, we're going to have to go down there and not lose 2 games. But we just got to play relaxed. We've got 13 seniors that we know they're gonna give us everything they've got. I mean, it's gonna be hot down there on the turf. We expect it, our strength conditioning, all that kind of stuff that we've been working on the entire year to really come in handy this weekend. We feel like we can compete with the best of them. We've got a senior-laden team that they're not going to give up. So I fully expect to go down there and be able to win to win the tournament.
I'd like to thank you for joining us and good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks.
I'd like to thank you for joining us this week on the WT Coaches Show for the WT Sports Network. I'm Zach Barnes, and we'll see you next week.